Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Friday's Daily Videodevo. Rene here in the home office, and I want to encourage you today. And I want to give you some words of encouragement that kind of tie into what happened on Thursday. That's right, you heard me, words of encouragement about what happened on Thursday. And I want to read a little bit from the newsletter I'm sending out a little bit later on today. I believe in redemption. I mentioned this briefly earlier this week, but God is the God of redemption. And God redeems not only personal lives, but He can redeem events. He can redeem tragedies. He can redeem mistakes. And that means that what happened Thursday can also be redeemed by God. It doesn't have to stay just thought of as a day of crisis. It can be thought of, perhaps one day, as a day we had a new beginning, as a day that we all personally saw what happened and said, I don't want to go there. And that became a catalyst to a recommitment to be people of peace. That doesn't mean we have to agree politically, but it means that the way we talk about our disagreements is peaceful and we seek common ground. So I believe in redemption. And secondly, I believe in our mission. Ultimately, the only lasting solution to any of the world's problems, to the world's strife, is the gospel. The world needs people of peace who serve the Prince of Peace, who bring the gospel of peace with words of peace. In other words, people who do God's will in God's way. And that brings me to a challenge. Are you ready for this? I call it the Love Thy Neighbor Challenge. As you know, Jesus told us that the two greatest commandments were to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. So let's do it. The world has never needed us to do those two things more than right now. Love God. Let's get reoriented on God. That's what the weekend services are all about. Hope you can join us for our live streams Saturday at 6, Sunday 9 and 10:45. We're not going to talk a lot about the headlines this weekend. We've all had enough of that. We're going to get reoriented on loving God with all of our hearts. Aren't you thirsty for that? And then secondly, let's love our neighbor. And I want to challenge you to do it in a real practical way. Choose at least one neighbor that you got right now. And I want to challenge you to maybe choose the neighbor that you have the least in common with and get them a gift. And I'll show you exactly the way I've done it. I've gotten some of my neighbors this nice little box of Lindt chocolate. They're delicious and they're not expensive. And I wrote a card. This is a neat card that I got from a friend at Twin Lakes Church who actually makes these cards. Isn't that pretty? Luann Corver. And I wrote this inside of it. I just wrote to our neighbors, hi, Bill and Megan, in this weird time of national crisis, it just felt right to reach out and say, love you, neighbor. We appreciate you. And we really want you to know that we are in this together. And right after I filmed this, I'm walking next door and delivering it to them. If they're not home, I'm just looking at their house out the window right now. Looks like they're home. I'm just gonna leave it on their front porch. I challenge you to do that. You know what I would love? I would love for you to take pictures of your cards that you write to your neighbors and email them to me at rene@tlc.org. And I would love to hear from you any interesting stories about how your neighbors responded to this. Our world needs this right now. I believe in redemption. I believe in our mission. Jesus told us to love God, love our neighbors. Let's do both of those this weekend. Don't let the weekend go by without getting reoriented on God and literally going over and loving your neighbor and saying, neighbor, the world is divided right now, but not you and me. We're in this together. God bless you guys. Let's go serve Jesus together.